Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a fantastic Nintendo Eshop sale. So much that I would go as far as saying it's one of the greatest of all time. Truly, some of these deals are like, how can you sell a game for this cheap? But I'm not complaining. So we have some Switch and Switch 2 games we gotta go over. On top of that, some physical games as well. And you know, I always throw in a couple hidden gems. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. So yeah, as you can see, I have a new cat right here. Her name is Cleo, and we rescued her yesterday. So sometimes she'll just be in the videos, I guess. But anyway, we have a fantastic Nintendo Eshop sale going on. Truly some of the greatest deals I've ever seen, right? Just really cool stuff. But before we get into that, you know, if you look right here, here is the winner of a Nintendo Eshop gift card. Very cool stuff, right? But also, if you look right here, here's another winner of a Nintendo Eshop gift card. If you'd like to have the same opportunity every single week, all you have to do is like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter or both of those. And just support the community as much as you can. And you guys know I will always give back as much as I can. But that's enough yapping, so let's go ahead and get right into these deals. The first game we're talking about today is SPIRITFARER. SPIRITFARER? I think it's SPIRITFARER, right? This is currently on sale for $2.99, and that is 90% off on the eShop. And this is the lowest price this game has ever been. You play as Stella, a fairy master to the deceased, a spiritfarer. Build a boat to explore the world, then befriend and care for spirits before finally releasing them into the afterlife. Farm, mine, fish, harvest, cook, and craft your way across mystical seas. This is, I mean, just a really special game that tackles some heavy stuff. It's just a fantastic game, especially for the price. Now let's talk about Slay the Spire, which is currently on sale for $6.24. That is 75% off on the eShop, and again, the lowest price this game has ever been. So essentially what this is like a card game mixed with a roguelike. If I'm not mistaken, I think there is a Slay the Spire 2 out. At least I'm pretty sure, right? I don't really pay attention too much to like those kind of games. And I'll be honest, I've never played this personally. But whenever I talk about games, this game comes up all the time. I literally had this guy recommend this game to me every single week for like 6 months, and I still never played it because I know it's a game that you can get lost in and just play indefinitely. So if you're looking for one of those kind of games, and it's a really fleshed out game, right? This might be one game you don't want to miss. So before we actually get any further into this video, I gotta go ahead and mention today's sponsor. So today's sponsor is an amazing website called jpfans.com. or just JP Fans. This is honestly the coolest service ever, especially as a fan of gaming, you know, trading cards like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, etc., anime figures, and everything in between. On JP Fans, you can search up stuff like Switch and Switch 2 games and find them for super cheap prices and get them directly from Japan. And items in Japan are often half the price or less than they are here in America and other countries. Once you purchase your items, they will send them to a warehouse. And once they're at that warehouse, they'll actually inspect the items to make sure it looks like the picture or it looks like what the description said. And that is just amazing. I know this sounds too good to be true, and I thought the same thing. So I purchased Luigi's Mansion 2 and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze for some insanely cheap prices. And after a few weeks, this showed up at my doorstep. So to get started right now, go to the description of this video, click the link to sign up, and they will give you some really awesome coupons. I'm talking about 50% off any item on Macari, which is crazy. Then a bunch of other coupons for shipping. And then, I mean, what are you doing? You know, get started right away. So thank you to JP Fans for sponsoring this video. Now let's talk about The Last Campfire, which is currently on sale for $1.99, and that is 87% off on the eShop. And this is a game I'm actually currently playing, like along with 20 other games probably, but it is phenomenal. It is so charming. And the way I like to explain this one is, you know like that whimsicalness and adventureness of a Zelda game with all the puzzles. That's what this is. It feels like a Zelda game, just without any battling or enemies really. You're just exploring and you're helping all these spirits and you're solving all these puzzles. It has beautiful voice acting, like narrating the game, and for $2, this one is a no-brainer. Now let's talk about a really unique game called Solar Ash, which is currently on sale for $9.99. That's 75% off on the eShop, and again, the lowest price this game has ever been. Set amidst a surreal dreamscape filled with long abandoned ruins of a great civilization's past. You play as Ray, a void runner determined to stop at nothing to save her planet, falling prey to the Ultra Void's path of eternal hunger. Fight through mobs of grotesque creatures, grind rails with sheer delight, grapple to wild heights, take down enormous bosses, and surf the ashen clouds of shattered bygone worlds swallowed by the void. There is really essentially nothing else out there that's like this game. It's fantastic. I beat this entire game probably in a couple of days when it first came out. It's not the longest game, I want to say about 6 or 7 hours, but those 6 or 7 hours are absolutely perfect. Now let's talk about Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, which is currently on sale for $9.99. That is 75% off on the eShop, and again, the lowest price this game has ever been. Yeah, I wasn't kidding, this sale is absolutely incredible. So to keep it kind of simple or brief, Dragon Quest Monsters games are their equivalent, at least in my opinion, to something like, kind of like Pokemon, you know what I mean? I think Monster Hunter kind of does something similar, Pokemon does something similar, this game does something similar. There's another one that I'm leaving out, but you know, they're just kind of like monster collecting. And this one obviously takes place in a Dragon Quest world with all the Dragon Quest monsters. They did just announce a new Dragon Quest game in the Dragon Quest like anniversary live stream or whatever. I don't know if that has a release date yet, so for the time being, you might as well just pick this one up for only $10. Speaking of Monster Hunter, we have Monster Hunter Rise plus Sunbreak DLC, currently on sale for $9.99, and that is 83% off on the eShop. And this is one of the best deals in all of gaming, truly. Monster Hunter Rise is the best Monster Hunter game ever, at least in my opinion. I just think it's so good and so cohesive, like everything just works well together. The characters are great, battling the monsters is fun. I like how you can kind of like zip around in this one. The music is fantastic, and the Sunbreak DLC feels essentially like a whole nother game added on, right? This is one of the best games I think we got on the Switch entirely, and on the Switch 2 with boost mode, it just runs and looks better. So for $10, this is a fantastic pickup. Now let's talk about Hollow Knight, which is currently on sale for the Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 for $7.50, and that is 50% off on the eShop. And this is one of my favorite games of all time. I beat this game twice. I knew nothing about it. I was never a fan of Metroidvanias, and it's just a really special game. So I only played this on the Switch twice, but now it has an official Switch 2 edition, and that's just better. And what's great is if you have this on the Switch and eventually get a Switch 2, that Switch 2 upgrade is 100% free. So to play one of the greatest games, at least in my opinion, ever for $7.50, it's just the easiest recommendation. Now we also have Hollow Knight Silksong on sale for $15.99 for the Switch or Nintendo Switch 2, and that is 20% off on the eShop. Again, I think this is just a fantastic game. I can't speak for the quality on the Switch, but I'm sure it's, you know, perfectly fine. This is Team Cherry, right? The quality is always going to be there. But on the Switch 2, it is phenomenal. But even though I beat Hollow Knight twice, Hollow Knight Silksong is so damn difficult to me, and I can't even progress. I'm like 11 hours in, and I'm just stuck. But it's something I'm just going to continuously play until I beat it, even if it takes years, right? And what's cool is they just announced DLC, or they announced DLC, and I think it's coming soon, and that DLC is 100% free. We have Kena Bridge of Spirits for the Nintendo Switch 2 for $27.99. That is 30% off on the eShop, and this is the lowest price this game has ever been. And this game is so damn good. I always tell people, like, if you don't know what it is and you just see the trailer, you might think, yeah, it kind of looks like a Pixar movie or something. So, you know, is it even worth playing? But yeah, it's incredible. It really is. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there was like a team who made like a Majora's Mask fan film or something, and then they're the team who made this game. So they're very passionate about video games, and it really shows. And there is a sequel to this game coming out on the PlayStation 5, I think later this year. Now let's talk about Stray, which is currently on sale for the Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 for $17.99, and that's 40% off on the eShop. So yes, this game is on the Switch and it's playable, and I think it's cool that it's over there, right? But I would say just skip the Switch version if you can, because the Switch 2 edition looks incredible. And if you already had the Switch version and you got a Switch 2, there was an issue like a couple of days ago where there was no upgrade path. But the upgrade is actually going to be 100% free, so that should be updated now, or sometime very soon. So if you already own the game, I would just say hold out for the update. And maybe I just got an orange cat, maybe not. Who can say for sure? But now I just want to play through this entire game. So yeah, I think I'm personally going to have to do that. Now let's talk about Ball X Pit, or I guess I've been saying it wrong. Maybe it's just Ball Pit. That's what I've been told. This is currently on sale for the Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 for $9.99. That is 33% off on the eShop, and this is the lowest price this game has ever been. And this game is so damn fun and so addicting. You just take out waves of enemies, essentially by having like all these characters shoot out balls and all these other power-ups, and it kind of bounces around like Pong or something. Then you come back and you build out your base. And if you like games like maybe Brotato or Vampire Survivors or anything like that, where you're just taking out waves of enemies and then coming back and powering up and getting new equipment and just new this, that, and the third, right? It is a game that is perfect. It is so fun. I think recently Nintendo even put like a free trial out there for online membership, so I hope a lot of people played that. And I really enjoy a game like this that is perfect for picking up and playing for any amount of time. Now let's talk about MINISHOOT Adventures, which is currently on sale for the Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 for $11.19. That's 30% off on the eShop, and again, saying this like for the 100th time, the lowest price this game has ever been. Fly into a charming handcrafted world and go on an adventure that mixes up open exploration and crispy twin-stick shooter action. Fight your way from the shiny overworld to the deepest caves, improve your ship, and overcome the dungeon bosses to rescue your friends. And you know what's so interesting is like, yes, this is a twin-stick shooter, but the game or the series this game was compared to the most was a classic Zelda game. And before playing it, I was just like, why? Why is it compared to that? And after playing it, I was like, yeah, it gives me those vibes 100%. It's fantastic. Again, not the longest game. I want to say about 8 hours, somewhere around there. But I think that's actually the perfect time for this game. It doesn't overstay its welcome. And the fact that it's on sale for the lowest price it's ever been, I mean, what are we doing here? Now let's talk about Neon White, which is currently on sale for the Switch physically at Amazon for $16.99, and that is 58% off the full price. Neon White is a lightning-fast, first-person action game about exterminating demons in heaven. You are White, an assassin handpicked from hell to compete with other demon slayers for a chance to live permanently in heaven. The other assassins seem familiar though. Did you know them in a past life? This is one of those games that I can't remember where I seen it, maybe in somebody else's YouTube video, and it just intrigued me so much, and I thought there's something definitely there that I'm going to enjoy. And then I finally played it, and yeah, it's a game like I couldn't shut up about. Once I finally played it, I just kept telling everybody about it. And to be honest, I didn't even know there was a physical copy for this game. So if you played this, you know about it. But if you don't, I think this is a fantastic game to add to your physical collection, especially for the price. Now let's talk about Final Fantasy 1 through 6 Pixel Remaster Collection, which is currently on sale physically for the Nintendo Switch at Amazon for $46 and, well, 1 penny. And that is 39% off the full price. I think if you're a fan of JRPGs, this is a must-own collection. And what's crazy is when they first released this, like the first print, it sold out immediately. Then this collection was reselling for like over $100, which is crazy. So I'm glad Square Enix like reprinted more. Now I'll be honest, I have not played all of these, but I have played Final Fantasy VI. It's one of the best JRPGs I've ever played. And the crazy thing is, I soft-locked myself in the game because I was too under-leveled and then went to a place where I can't escape. So I'm actually going to restart this game like from the very beginning very soon because it's just fantastic. So, you know, you're getting 6 of the greatest JRPGs or most important ones ever for $46. And a game I will always recommend is a really charming game called Goodnight Universe. This is currently on sale for the Nintendo Switch 2 physically at Amazon for $24.95, and that is 17% off the full price. And just keep in mind, even though this is a physical copy, it's a game key card. But yeah, this game is amazing. I haven't really heard many people talk about it. It's a game where you're a psychic baby and you're like trying to figure out why you're psychic and learn all these abilities. But then at the same time, there's some weird stuff going on in the background where like the government, I think, wants you because of your abilities, and it has amazing voice acting. And it's a really special game that I hope more people get to experience. So anytime it's on sale or anytime I can recommend it, I will. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I was not kidding. There were so many incredible games on sale right now. A lot of them for the lowest prices they've ever been. And the crazy thing is, there's probably like another 30 games I could have talked about. So yeah, as always, in the comments below, let me know what games you're picking up, any sales that you've seen, any sales that I missed. Just start a conversation. And if you made it all the way to this part of the video, if you could do me a favor, hit a like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and consider becoming a channel member, because we stream every single week, and I'd love for you to be a part of the members. And you guys know me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace.